evening, students. Hope you all are fine and studying well. Welcome back to Social Science class. Students, do you remember what we learned in the previous class? Yes, we learned the fundamental problems faced by an economy. Today, we are going to learn about the topic economic thinking. So, let's begin. Adam Smith, in his An Enquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, has laid a strong foundation for economics. He described economics as a study of wealth. He wanted limited government intervention in the economic activities and argued for more freedom to individuals. This is known as the theory of laissez-faire. The Industrial Revolution led to the establishment of new industries and labor union. There occurred marked changes in technology and production process. The ideas put forward by Karl Marx are rooted in these changes. Marx gave importance to the role of laborers in the production process. He maintained that the basis of production is the manpower of laborers and that the price of a product is the reward for it. However, the laborers get only a portion while the lion's share goes to the capitalist as profit. Marx calls this surplus value. He dreamed about a society where there is no difference between the haves and the have-nots. The ideas of Marx are contained in his magnum opus Das Kapital. Alfred Marshall presented several new principles in the field of economics. He believed that wealth should ultimately result in the welfare of the society. Economic activities must be welfare oriented. These principles are contained in his work Principles of Economics. The world population reached 160 crore at the beginning of the 20th century and kept increasing. Are we able to produce resources for such a multitude of population? How can we judiciously utilize the limited resources? These questions prompted the British economist Lionel Robbins to concentrate on the ever-increasing wants and limited resources. He suggested that we should prioritize our wants for the judicious utilization of limited resources. Paul A. Samuelson, the American economist, presented his ideas in the beginning of the 20th century. He maintained that a nation's financial stability depends on efficient economic planning and proper utilization of resources. Students, look at this table. Let's have a look on the prominent thinkers and their basic ideas. Adam Smith, Study of Wealth of Nations. Karl Marx, Importance of Laborers. Alfred Marshall, Wealth should result in the welfare of the society. Lionel Robbins, Unlimited wants and limited resources. Paul A. Samuelson, A nation's financial stability depends on efficient economic planning and proper utilization of resources. Indian thinkers have also contributed much to economics. India's economic thoughts date back to the Mauryan dynasty. Chanakya, the chief advisor of Chandragupta Maurya, wrote the famous Arthashastra. It is a major work of the Indian economic thoughts. Lack of effective economic activities can bring a nation to ruin. He emphasized the importance of following the right policies for a nation's progress. This would help the nation to prevent loss of revenue. Chanakya played a key role in making Magadha a powerful nation. Dadabhai Naoroji was a well-known economist in British India. He pointed out that the Britishers were draining our resources and that this led to economic crisis and poverty. This is known as the drain theory. The main reasons for the drain of resources were the following. The British officers in India were paid high salaries. Goods made from Indian raw materials and resources brought at extremely low price were sold at a high price in the Indian market. Indian wealth was robbed for expanding the British Empire. Indian laborers were treated as slaves, and farm and industrial products were exported to England. The studies of Ramesh Chandra Dutt on British exploitation of India also strengthened the Indian economic thought. His studies revealed how the Western civilization and British exploitation ruined India. Gandhian economics. It was Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, who contributed original ideas in economics since Dadabhai Naoroji. His ideas can be found in his first book, Hind Swaraj, published in 1909. Gandhiji's ideas gave importance to moral values and rural economy. His idea of trusteeship led to fresh thoughts in the area. Trusteeship. The main ideas of Gandhiji's trusteeship are as follows. The capitalist has to denounce sole ownership and declare that he holds wealth as a trustee of the public. A trustee has no other heir but the public. The nature of production is decided by the society and not by the individual's choice or greed. Just as we decide about minimum wages needed for a modest living, there must be a limit to maximum wage as well. Gandhiji aimed at an economy which is founded on truth and non-violence. We can compile his main ideas as follows. Priority to rural agricultural system. Emphasis on small and cottage industries. Formation of an economy built on equality. A self-sufficient and self-reliant local economy. Many Indian economists were impressed by the economic ideas of Gandhiji. Economists like J.C. Kumarappa, Sriman Narayan and Dharampal wanted independent India's development to give priority to agriculture and small-scale industry. Amartya Sen is an Indian economist who received the Nobel Prize for Economics in 1998. His famous work covered vast areas like welfare economics, economic inequality, and development. He pointed out the flaws in determining the poverty line and concentrated his studies on poverty, inequality, and famine. Students, let's summarize what we learned today. We learned about Indian economic thinkers like Chanakya, Amartya Sen, Dadabhai Naoroji, Mahatma Gandhi. Chanakya gave importance to prevention of income loss and effective economic performance. Amartya Sen, welfare economics. Dadabhai Naoroji, drain theory. Mahatma Gandhi, trusteeship. The basic economic problems are what, how, and for whom to produce. The study of economics is very significant as it studies not only the production, distribution, and consumption of wealth but also the human resources. Economics is defined differently during different periods. India's contribution to economics is significant. Hope you all understood what we learned in this unit. We will meet in the next class with a new unit. Study well. Thank you.